So, Brother Baer, Elijah was used in the beginning of the initiation of the early church. Does that mean we still have bigger and greater things ahead of us if we fulfill the Elisha portion of that?
I have felt like, Sister Conrad, that we may be filling the Elijah portion, and it may be that Israel will fill the Elisha portion. I'm talking about especially the Jewish ministry during the millennial reign. There's a reason, and it might instigate us, though we already have enough Bible subjects going, might instigate us to eventually finish going through the story of Elijah. We went through the 17th, 18th chapter some years ago, never went on into the 19th chapter, which is where we begin to see the transition from Elijah to Elisha. At the end of that chapter in particular, where he begins to work with Elisha, it goes on for years that he's working beside Elisha, and then Elisha gets that full mantle when Elijah is caught up in that chariot of fire. But I believe the rebuilding of the altar is a picture of the restoration of the church. If it is, then the ministry who's present in the time of the restoration of the church would have to be pictured by Elijah, just like John the Baptist. So it may be that the types and shadows associated with Elijah may be fulfilled in multiple ways. They were fulfilled in John the Baptist as a forerunner of Christ. Now listen, here's how. They were fulfilled by John the Baptist as a forerunner of Christ's first coming. They may be fulfilled by the latter rain ministry as the forerunners of Christ's next return. I don't just mean in the spirit as we sometimes refer to it, but I mean personal return. His first personal coming, he had a forerunner who came in the spirit of Elijah. That is as clear as you can get in the Bible. Jesus himself said, you're looking for Elijah? Because they're like, doesn't the scripture say Elijah's supposed to come? He basically is saying, if you can take it, in other words, it might be hard for you to grasp this. If you can take it, Elijah already came. John the Baptist fulfilled that. But John the Baptist didn't do everything that Elijah did on Mount Carmel typologically. John the Baptist isn't the one that put everything back in order so that we'd see a cloud like a man's hand rising out of the sea at the end of that chapter, representing, we believe, that fivefold ministry. John the Baptist isn't the one that brought in the rain that we think is a picture of the latter rain. So it very well may be that there will be someone or some group of men that are the forerunners of Christ's personal coming in his first personal coming and in his next personal coming. John certainly was the forerunner in his first. But when we look at the 18th chapter of 1 Kings, we see Elijah doing things that look like they're a picture of what's going to happen in the latter rain, which hasn't fully been fulfilled yet, which means that there'd have to be another ministry. I think it's a plural ministry now instead of just one single minister like John. There'd have to be another ministry who come in the spirit of Elijah. If that's true, it'd be hard to justify using Elisha, his student, as a picture of the latter rain ministry. And Elijah getting caught up in the chariot of fire, which would be something we'd get into if we ever finish the story of Elijah's life in a Bible study sometime, might be a picture of the first resurrection. Because it's at that time that I believe the responsibility will fall on the Jewish ministry that haven't yet gone on to perfection. And they will be purged and processed through the battle of Armageddon and come out the other side as the evangelistic arm of the kingdom during the millennial reign. And they may fulfill the pictures in the life of Elisha.